In the spring of 1970, a chilling letter arrived with a map of the San Francisco Bay Area and a cryptic string of 32 characters. The author claimed this short code would reveal the exact location of a bomb set to detonate by autumn. That threat was mailed to major newspapers across the city. For over 50 years, the message, known as the Z32 cipher, remained a terrifying and seemingly impenetrable mystery. Recently, a cybersecurity team called Praetorian approached the puzzle from a new angle. They skipped traditional pen and paper cryptography and attacked the cipher with advanced computational brute force analysis, testing tens of thousands of mathematical parameters. This analysis shifts the focus away from the physical threat of an explosive and toward the structural design of the puzzle itself, revealing the Zodiac as an architect of an intellectual mystery. Early on, this killer operated in isolated, rural areas. He stalked locations like quiet lovers' lanes and lakeside parks, places where he could easily exert physical control over vulnerable targets. By targeting an urban cab driver, he forced a direct, high-profile confrontation with law enforcement in the heart of the city. Profilers note a distinct psychological evolution here. The physical act of murder was no longer his primary drive. Instead, he used letters and cryptic threats to manipulate the media and terrorize the general public. The Z32 bomb threat functioned as his ultimate tool for asserting intellectual dominance, allowing him to project power over law enforcement without stepping foot at a crime scene. This animated diagram shows the structure of the Z32 cipher. Researchers noticed that among the letters and symbols, there are exactly 3 triangle shapes. When you use these triangles as dividers, the cipher neatly fractures into 3 distinct blocks of information. Within the middle block, researchers identified a sequence of trigrams, 3-character sets. They theorized that each set represents a specific navigational coordinate, containing a direction, a distance, and an action to take. This interpretation aligns with the killer's own writing, where he stated that his code concerned radians and inches along the radians, linking the symbols to specific units of measurement. Radians are a mathematical unit of angular measurement. Paired with the physical map he provided, which featured a crosshair drawn directly over a local peak, the instruction confirmed he was using a geometric, radial navigation system centered on Mount Diablo. He abandoned standard word substitution to draft a highly specific mathematical map. Looking at this map of the San Francisco Bay Area, the first step is accounting for the Earth's magnetic field in 1970. Before any calculations can begin, the compass must rotate exactly 16.88 degrees to the east to align magnetic north with true north. Once aligned, the radian method applies. By converting the cipher's letters into 45-degree mathematical increments, a precise 16-point radial grid emerges, anchored directly on Mount Diablo. Next, to determine how far to travel along those angles, the cipher applies a square root scaling factor to compress the distance values. As this plays out on the grid, 3 distinct lines project outward from the mountain, stopping at exact coordinates on the map. Connect these 3 calculated waypoints, and they form a massive, perfect triangle spanning the Bay Area. The final step calculates the geographic center of this new shape. When a vertical meridian line is dropped straight down through that center point, it intersects Mount Diablo's longitude with a staggering precision of down to 0.00000001 degrees. A geographic alignment this flawless is practically impossible to achieve by accident. It proves the cipher was heavily engineered to create a perfect mathematical loop. Because this coordinate system is entirely closed loop, it points to a very specific conclusion. There was no physical bomb buried in the dirt. As we can see in this diagram, the cipher functions as a self-referential trap. It demands complex mathematics to navigate away from Mount Diablo, only to immediately point directly back to where it started. The bomb was a metaphorical device, deployed to waste thousands of hours of police resources, to induce panic across an entire city, and cement the killer's personal mythos in the public imagination. He had successfully transitioned from committing brutal acts of violence on quiet roads to operating as an untouchable intellectual terrorist, looming over the city. The decoded Z32 cipher reveals a killer who valued the elegance of a mathematical demonstration over the act of murder. a geographic loop designed to consume the attention of investigators for decades.